What's going on, Sooner Nation? So we talked about the official visits that were set for Oklahoma, and y'all might have seen some predictions flow in for a 4-star defensive lineman. And I want to talk to you guys about it because I really agree with these predictions based off what happened at the camps. Now, you might be asking what camps? The Brent Venables Elite camps. He's going to be hosting these every year. And we're going to be talking about some of the guys that were on those camps this week. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But we got to talk about Kade Pietrzak. So jump in the comments below, join the discussion, give me your thoughts on whether or not you think Kade Pietrzak will be here. And then I've also got another question for y'all here later in the video. Won't be too long of one, but Kade Pietrzak is a guy that, hey, 6'4", 240 pounds from West Fargo, North Dakota, a 4-star composite player. This is a guy, though, that I think he's actually sneaky good because when you go watch his film and you definitely see what he has done statistically, the dude's kind of a freak, just plays in North Dakota. So he's not going to get the kind of love that a guy in Texas or Florida would be able to get. But here's the deal. So yesterday we're standing around, we're watching the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen and the defensive end one-on-ones. And we're kind of all in a circle. And the next thing you know, Pietrzak and his family walks up literally right behind me. And I'm standing here and they're kind of standing right here just to give you guys an understanding, right? So they're standing there, they're kind of watching things a little bit. And then you kind of see Brent Venables so I'm standing here, they're standing here. He's kind of standing like over here kind of, right? So he walks all the way around and he comes over and says hi to the Pietrzak, sees what's up, right? But he sits there for about 15 to 20 minutes talking to Kade and the family. And I think that's significant, right? Because they got a lot of FaceTime with Brent Venables. Not to mention, they got to kind of see everything in action with Miguel Chavis and Brent Venables and kind of maybe, I don't know what happened in those conversations, but I would think have potentially got an explanation of, hey, like scheme-wise, this is what we want to do with you. And I think another big factor is, and this is what we're going to get into Kade Pietrzak a little bit, is Ethan Downs was standing over in the area as well. And I believe he came over. I think he came over and said hi as well. But I was talking to, I think it was Josh McQuistion. I think it was him that I asked the question to, and I said, so 247 has him listed as a defensive lineman. So when I think defensive line, I think interior guys. Then when you think of, guys on the edge, you think defensive end. And so I said, is Kade Pietrzak at 240 pounds able to play the interior? And he goes, no, but I also don't think he's just a pure edge either. Like he thinks he's somewhere about Ethan Downs, right? If you looked at the comp, Ethan Downs. And I was like, that's interesting to me because Ethan Downs is a guy that, depending on who you're playing, he could slide inside, but be a little bit faster of an inside guy. But he also plays on the edge as well. So Ethan Downs is kind of like a Swiss Army knife on the defensive line. So when he said that, that was kind of interesting to hear that. But Kade Pietrzak's got 27 total offers from Kansas State, Nebraska, Wisconsin, which are the 3 schools that you're competing with here if you're Oklahoma. And I believe this is your second or third visit for Pietrzak that you've gotten him on campus. Now, he has one more official visit coming up, and that's going to be Nebraska on the 21st. Interestingly enough, he took the visit to Wisconsin, but he didn't have an official visit scheduled with Kansas State. So you almost wonder, is Kansas State getting an official visit, or is after Nebraska, it all going to be over? Now, personally, I think with Kade Pietrzak, like with predictions flowing in, you probably could see him cut it down pretty early, shut it down, maybe not even take that Nebraska visit. And I don't know if that means you get a commitment today or Monday, or if it's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. But he was on campus, so he had an opportunity to turn his chip in. And you had Kevin Sperry there. You had Elijah Thomas there. You had Tristan Haynes there. All of those guys in your corner recruiting for you. That's a big deal. Now, speaking of Elijah Thomas, he was there, obviously. He was not camping. So I was kind of hoping to see a little bit of Elijah Thomas in person, but I didn't get to. But you did get to see Deshaun Brain walk in the second session. He kind of stood around, watched the tight ends in where Joe John Finley was. And From my standpoint, not sure how that went specifically. I'm not gonna say he didn't enjoy it because I don't know because I didn't talk to him. Just gonna preface that right now. It didn't look like it was like he was enjoying it though. Like it kind of looked like, all right, I'm here, I'm standing around. So I found that kind of interesting as well. We'll have to see, though. Elijah Thomas got an opportunity to talk to him. Brent Venables came over and talked to him for a while, and I think things started to, at least from my point of view, it looked like they took a turn a little bit when Brent Venables came over and kind of got that conversation going. So, yeah, we'll have to see how Deshaun Brain goes. I talked to somebody this morning that said they think Oklahoma still has a shot. So we'll just have to see. I mean, Deshaun Brain, Oregon, that's been the talk. So, guys, I want to hear from you. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on the comp with Kade Pietrzak and Ethan Downs. And additionally, do you think Oklahoma lands Deshaun Brain?